How many times have you said, "I'm fine," when you weren't? Teens do this every day. At school, at home, even with their closest friends. We smile, we laugh, we post selfies. We show up to class and say, "I'm good," when someone asks how we are. But behind the scenes, we're overthinking, panicking, shutting down, and wondering if there's something wrong with us. I used to think pretending was a strength, that if I could look okay on the outside, maybe the inside would catch up. But the truth is, we say "I'm fine" because we don't want anyone to worry. Or worse, that no one will believe us. That people will say we're just being dramatic or hormonal or too sensitive. But what if that "I'm fine" is actually hiding something serious? What if those 3 words are actually a quiet cry for help? A lot of people think being a teenager just means being emotional, that we're supposed to be moody, dramatic, or overreacting. So when a teen is struggling, it's easy for others to say, "Oh, it's just a phase. It's normal. They'll grow out of it." But here's the thing. When every emotion gets brushed off as normal, we start to miss the signs that something deeper is going on. These signs don't always look dramatic on the outside, but they feel overwhelming on the inside. And when those early signs get ignored or dismissed, it becomes harder to speak up later, especially when things get worse. That's why awareness isn't just important, it's urgent. Because when we recognize what's really going on, we give others the chance to get help before they hit a breaking point. For me, everything started shifting the summer before 6th grade. At first, it just felt like sadness. I wasn't excited about anything anymore. I thought, maybe I was just being dramatic or just going through a phase. But that summer, something else was happening. My brother had gone seriously ill. It was a rare condition, and no one really had answers. In despair, I could feel myself shutting down, even though no one else could see it. After he passed, everything got harder. I started having panic attacks. I avoided people. And even then, I still kept saying, "I'm fine." But inside, I felt disconnected from everyone, everything, even myself. I stayed in my room a lot. Reading became my escape, my way to disappear without actually going anywhere. I started coming across stories about teens who were feeling things I couldn't quite explain. Characters who were anxious, overwhelmed, or just felt off. And as I read more, I started to see myself in those pages. Maybe this wasn't just sadness. Maybe this was something more. But even knowing that, saying something out loud felt impossible. I didn't want to add to the stress my family was already going through. I didn't want to be a problem. But deep down, I knew I couldn't keep feeling like this and not say anything. So I did something that felt really hard. I talked to my mom. At first, I wasn't even sure how to explain what I was feeling. I stumbled through it. using words I picked up from those stories I'd read. Anxious, empty, not myself. My mom just listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't try to talk me out of it. She didn't tell me I was overthinking or just being dramatic. She believed me. She got me the support I needed and enrolled me in counseling. And that one step changed everything. I eventually got diagnosed with complex PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And for the first time, I had words for what I was feeling. This wasn't just stress. This just wasn't just grief. This was my mental health, and it mattered. Even after I started counseling, things didn't magically start getting better. There's this idea that once you start getting help, you're supposed to bounce back quickly, like it's a reset button, like taking medicine for a headache and feeling fine the next day. But healing doesn't work like that, especially when you're a teenager. There's this unspoken pressure to act as if everything's normal again, to smile, show up, keep going, as if nothing ever happened. And honestly, I tried. I still told people I was fine. I still laughed in group chats. I still posted pictures that made it seem as if everything was normal. Because I didn't want to seem weak. I didn't want people to treat me differently. And I definitely did not want to explain everything all the time. There's this pressure to hold it all in, especially when you feel like others have it worse, or when everyone around you seems to be doing just fine. But that pressure to be okay, to look okay, is exhausting, and it keeps so many teens from asking for help. We feel like we have to choose between being honest and being accepted, between struggling silently or being seen as too much. But the truth is, no one should have to choose between being real and being respected. What helped me the most wasn't someone trying to fix everything. It was someone simply choosing to listen. My mom didn't rush in with advice. She didn't say, "You're just having a rough week," or "You'll feel better soon." She believed me and gave me space to speak without feeling judged. That kind of support can mean more than people realize. Because when you're struggling, the last thing you want to be told is to calm down or look on the bright side. You want to feel safe. You want to feel heard. I think a lot of teens stay quiet because they're afraid they'll be misunderstood, or worse, ignored. And that's something I've thought about a lot. How people try to help, but don't always know how. It's such an important part of the conversation that I dedicated a section to it in the book I'm writing. Because I know how easily giving support can be misinterpreted and how powerful it is when it's done right. We don't need perfect adults. We just need present ones. People who will sit with us when we're not okay and say, "I'm here. I believe you. Let's figure this out together." That one moment of listening, without rushing, without judging, can make the difference between someone staying silent and someone starting to heal. So, if there's one thing I hope you take from this today, is that your emotions are valid. They aren't always just a phase. They aren't always just hormones. And they definitely should not be ignored. I'm lucky. My mom got me the help I needed before things got worse. So if you're a parent, a teacher, or a friend, please don't wait for someone to fall apart before you check in. Start noticing the small shifts. Start asking real questions. Start listening without trying to fix everything. And if you're a teen who's still saying, "I'm fine," when you're really not, I see you. You're not alone. There is help and there is hope. You don't need the perfect words. You don't have to explain it all at once. You just have to begin. Because "I'm fine" shouldn't be the thing we hide behind. It should be the reason why someone leans in and says, "I'm here." Thank you.